Hello viewers of Jonathan George Valeria's Watch Emporium. I am Jonathan George Valeria, and I am excited to share with you how we can expand our knowledge of the world through the English language. Our videos cover a range of topics such as literature, history, science, and more to provide you with a well-rounded learning experience, regardless of whether you are a beginner or an experienced learner. Our expertly curated videos offer captivating and enlightening content to help you enhance your language proficiency. Today, I would like to passionately and thoughtfully talk about a topic that has significantly impacted the course of history: World War II. This devastating war was fought from 1914 to 1918 and involved major powers of the world. It was the first war to be fought on a global scale, involving more than 30 countries and tragically resulting in the loss of millions of precious lives. So, what precipitated the outbreak of World War I? The immediate cause of the war was a shocking and sudden assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary in 1914. This event triggered a series of complicated diplomatic crises and alliances, ultimately leading to a mobilization of troops and declaration of war. The wars were fought between two formidable and opposing alliances, the Allied powers and the Central Powers. The Allied powers consisted of France, Great Britain, and Russia, while the Central Powers were Germany, Austria, Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire. The war was fought on multiple treacherous and unpredictable fronts, including Europe, Africa, and Asia. It saw the introduction of new and devastating weapons and tactics, such as the ruthless use of airplanes, tanks, and deadly chemical weapons. The war resulted in the staggering and heart-wrenching loss of life, with an estimated 10 million soldiers and 9 million civilians tragically losing their lives. It also led to the catastrophic and irreversible collapse of empires and the withdrawing of national boundaries. The Treaty of Versailles was signed in 1919, officially ended the war and imposed heavy penalties on Germany, which unfortunately set the stage for World War II. World War I was not only a military conflict, but it also had significant economic, social, and political consequences. The war devastated the economies of many European countries, causing inflation, food shortages, and unemployment. The war also led to significant changes in social norms as women took on new roles in workforce and society. In addition to the immediate causes of the war, there were deeper underlying factors that contributed to the outbreak of the conflict. This included the arms race between European powers, imperialist ambitions, and the complex web of alliances that formed in the years leading up to the war. The war saw significant advancements in technology and military tactics. The use of machine guns and artillery led to high casualties and trench warfare, where soldiers dug trenches and fought from defensive positions. The war also saw the introduction of tanks, which could traverse the difficult terrain of the trenches and break through enemy lines. Airplanes were used for reconnaissance and bombing raids, and the use of chemical weapons such as mustard gas caused significant harm to soldiers and civilians alike. Despite the devastation of the war, there were also significant technological and scientific advancements that emerged as a result. Medical advancements led to the development of new treatments for injuries and diseases, and advancements in aviation and transportation paved the way for new modes of travel and communication. In conclusion, World War I was a complex and multifaceted event that had far-reaching consequences for the world. It was a tragic event that resulted in the loss of millions of lives, but it also led to significant advancements in technology and science. It is important that we continue to study and remember the lessons of this war so that we can work towards a more peaceful future. Thank you for joining me on this episode. Your questions, comments, and feedback are always welcome and appreciated. So please don't hesitate to leave them in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, please do hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more interesting and enlightening content. By hitting the notification bell, you'll be sure to never miss any of our exciting and thought-provoking episodes. Don't forget to share our channel with your friends and family who may also find our content beneficial. We are committed to providing you with high quality, well researched, and engaging content that will help you improve your English language skills and expand your knowledge.